Hey everyone, welcome back for another video. Behind me is the Deutz Fahr 6230 tractor. This tractor comes in several different configurations, and I'm going to go through those with you here in this video. First up behind me is a 6230. Now, if you're just looking for a simple 230 horsepower tractor, this one here has a range transmission in it, so it's got 5 different ranges with 6 power shifts or on-the-go shifts in each range. Let's take a look. This tractor is a base model, but it still does have a lot of nice features to it. Starting here, we do have a suspended front axle on this tractor, and this tractor also has a suspended cab. Let's jump up in the cab and have a look. This tractor has a lot of the same features all the other models do. First up, we have the tilt and telescopic steering wheel. We have our shuttle from forward to reverse that can be done on the go with 5 different settings here. So if the operator likes a real fast forward to reverse or reverse to forward shuttle, we can put this on a hard, or if you want a delay where your tractor rolls to a stop and then changes direction, we can do that on the go. That's standard on pretty much every Deutz Fahr tractor. Transmission here is the range transmission, so we have 5 different ranges that we can either use the foot clutch or an electronic clutch located right here to change ranges, and then we have 6 power shifts in each range on the go, giving you a total of 30 forward speeds. Of course, we have our ignition switch, cell phone holder, and then of course over here we have our hand throttle. We have a shuttle switch right here that you can use if you want to shuttle on this side versus the left-hand one. Fast raise and lower for our 3-point hitch. We can program in a couple different engine RPM settings here. Auto steer button, differential lock, front wheel assist, our slip management system. This tractor again is a basic tractor, so it has 4 hydraulic remotes that are manual levers that we can just raise and lower our implement here. We can also lock these in a float mode or a continuous flow. Power takeoff, engagement, disengagement right here. 3-point hitch settings. And of course this tractor does have a dual speed PTO 540 and 1000 that we can shift here. Tractors with the suspended axle, you can lock that out. Another 3-point hitch button here and another button or a lockout for our auto steer. A couple accessory plugs located right here. We come up here, we got lights, beacon, rear wipers, climate control, stereo, and a monitor bar. And of course this tractor does have the buddy seat that can be folded down, used to store something on, ashtray, cigarette lighter, cup holders, and a storage compartment located right back here. Have another storage compartment here, sunroof. This gives you nice visibility. You can put a loader on this tractor, so with the loader, when your loader is all the way up, it gives you good visibility of what's going on up here without moving around the seat too much. We'll now take a look at the back of the tractor. We do have a couple switches here on the back fender, so we can raise and lower our 3-point hitch if you're hooking, unhooking an implement, or we can control our PTO back here where we can bump it to help aid hooking up a PTO, or if we was running something like a feed mixer, grain auger, something like that, we could control it back here. Back here we have our 4 hydraulic remote couplers here. Since these are manual hydraulics on this model, we can adjust our flow by reaching out the back window and adjust those manually. This tractor does come with power beyond hydraulics on it, a low pressure return. We do have an isobus plug here, trailer plug, accessory, and so on. Again, if you're just looking for a good basic 230 horsepower tractor, this one here is the tractor for you. Next up behind me is a 6230 with the RC shift transmission. This is a robotized or electronically controlled power shift transmission. It is a range transmission, but you can change the ranges on the go electronically with the shift lever inside the cab. This tractor here has a few more options on it. It does have the front PTO and 3-point hitch with 1 set of remote couplers up front. Again, like the other tractor, this does have the suspended front axle and suspended cab. We'll now climb up in the cab with the 6230 with the RC shift transmission. Inside the cab, again, we have the tilt and telescopic steering wheel with the shuttle shift right here. Now, this tractor does have the 12-inch touchscreen monitor in here that is isobus compatible. And with the RC shift transmission, this is our control lever right here. So we can shift this transmission up or down by bumping this shift lever. To change ranges, since there is 30 speeds in this transmission, to go from one range to the other, we simply can bump this up to change ranges, but there's an acknowledge button on the back side here. We would hold that button, push the lever forward, and that would shift us up to the next range. So although this transmission does have 30 forward speeds, you do not have to go through all 30 gears. You can simply jump ranges and skip gears as you're upshifting, especially during road travel, stuff like that. In field work, more commonly, you would probably stay in one range and just upshift and downshift in that range, as you would not be changing a lot of gears per range. Also on the shift lever, we have two of our remotes located right here for up and down. We also have some remotes over here and here. On the control lever, we can also change our shuttle from forward to reverse right here. Have a stop button for the 3-point hitch, fast, raise, and lower. And then we do have a couple programmable buttons here. So we can pretty much program any function in this tractor into these buttons. For example, you get to the end of the field, you want to raise your hydraulics, whatever, you don't want to reach over, hit a lever, you could program it into one of these buttons. We can also program in a speed. So if we're out in the field, we want to program in a certain speed, we can put it in automatic mode and just hit this button right here. The tractor will automatically run that speed and adjust the engine RPMs accordingly to give us the best fuel economy. We can also program in two different engine speeds right here, where we would not have to use our hand throttle necessarily. We could just program in a set RPM, hold that, and the engine will automatically come up to that RPM. Of course, this tractor does have the front 3-point hitch and PTO, so we do have one switch here for front PTO, one for rear. Turn our hydraulics on. We have a button right here. This is if the operator would get out of the seat and need to use the PTO. For example, if you're running a feed mixer, a grain auger, something like that, where you're not necessarily going to be in the tractor when the PTO is running, we got this safety button located right here. Underneath here, we have some controls here to fine-tune our 3-point hitch. We can also set our hydraulics. We can change our flow, and we can also change the modes. We can run our hydraulics in a couple different modes, such as manual, detent, and continuous flow. Detent, we can also lock out our front suspension if need be. Have a couple buttons here for our auto steer or double displacement steering. And then of course over here, power takeoff, 540 or 1000, we can change those ranges here. Couple more buttons to lock out our auto steer, 3-point hitch, more accessory plugs located right here, and like the other tractor, lights, beacon, rear washers, climate control, and radio. This tractor also has the sunroof in it as well. And on all our tractors, the rear window does open, but we do have a couple places here. So if you have monitors or something you need to run a cable out to an implement, we can do that without actually going through and disturbing the window sill right here by pulling these out. And then we can run our cable through, push this back down in to keep everything airtight. Now let's talk about the 6230 with the TTV transmission. So this 6230 right here has a CVT transmission in it. It's set up a lot like the tractor I just talked about, but let's have a look at this. This tractor here also set up with the front 3-point hitch and PTO, suspended front axle. This one is going to look very similar to the RC shift I just showed you. Let's now jump up in the cab of the TTV tractor and check it out. Inside the cab of this tractor, there is not a lot of difference between the controls in this and the one with the RC shift. Same control lever, just with the CVT transmission, you're not shifting gears. You can just hold this to speed up or accelerate, pull back to slow down. Other than that, this tractor is identical inside. Touchscreen monitor that is ISOBUS compatible, hydraulics, pretty much all that's the same. And of course, like I talked about in the other tractor, we do have front and rear 3-point hitch controls here on the joystick lever. We can program in 2 different transmission speeds. So if you're in an application where you want a programmable speed, you're just running like say 5 mile an hour or 7 mile an hour, we can program them in and then just touch that. The tractor will automatically run that ground speed and control the RPMs electronically to give us the best fuel economy. Underneath here, we have more controls like the other tractor for the 3-point hitch to fine-tune our hydraulics, lock out our front suspension. Also have an acceleration dial located right here that controls how fast our transmission responds up and down in speed. So if we want our transmission to be very responsive as we hold the lever forward, we can turn this all the way up, or we can slow it down to meet your operating needs. TTV tractors do have an electronic park brake. If you do get out of the seat at any time, the brake will apply and lock automatically. I did do a separate video showing how to operate the TTV transmission in the 3 different modes. I'll put the link to that video at the end of this one. We can also go in and change our hydraulic settings in the monitor. I have another video for that. Put the link to it at the end of this one as well. On the TTV tractor, does have the dual speed PTO 540 or 1000. We can also run this in an economy mode, and we can actually change that electronically with this dial right here. Of course, like the other tractors, we got our accessory plugs, lights, rear wipers, climate control, and stereo. I will now demonstrate how to open the hood on the 6230 tractor and a look at the cooling package. So the cooling package opens up right here for easy clean out, and you can see the air filter is mounted right in front. We'll now close the hood. The front fenders pivot out of the way to allow access in towards the engine to do things such as checking your engine oil and other maintenance items. That's the options that are available on the 6230 tractor. I hope you found this video informative. For more information, you can visit our website at Deutz-Fahr America.com, and we'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.